Hi, I'm Brad Burrow.
And I'm David Jackson.
Welcome to the Digital Disruptors podcast. So today we have a very special guest with us, Isaac Wambua. And Isaac is the founder and CEO of Dynamo Methods and has a new book coming out pretty soon here that's Freedom Through Systems, How to Build a Business that Runs, Grows, and Thrives Without You. I think that's impossible, Isaac.
I believe it's possible. Yeah, you got to be a believer a little bit, Brad.
Okay.
You gotta be.
Well, maybe by the end of this podcast, I'm going to be a believer. No,
I'll do my best.
That was fun. But
yeah.
I mean, man, doesn't every entrepreneur want to have something like that? I mean, wouldn't you like to build your business so that you could step away and maybe go on vacation?
We all do. And I believe most of us, if not all of us, that's why we get into business. Most of the people, it's because they want freedom of time, money to do the things they love, and be able to enjoy their lives. But most of the times it doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm. So I need to read the book.
If you want to.
Yes, I think I do.
I think we all do. We can all learn a lot from it, I'm sure.
So Isaac, I'm going to start with the first question.
Mm-hmm.
Share a little bit about your background, how you started. I'd even love to know how you got into the U.S.
Yes, that's a long story. I'll shorten it. So I grew up in Kenya. I was born in Kenya. And I came to the U.S. 18 years ago, right after I did my bachelor's degree in Kenya in industrial engineering.
Is that right?
Yeah. Then I came here to do my master's degree in a small town called Warrensburg in Missouri.
Okay.
People always ask me, how did you land in Warrensburg? I'm like, that's a different story because I didn't know where I was going. I just knew I was coming to the U.S. So that was in 2007. I did my master's degree, and then I got into the workforce. And I worked for different companies, running restaurants, engineering. I did sales, and in the process, I found myself in entrepreneurship. But the click in my head to get into business wasn't until 2012. There's a job I kind of liked, but they were not growing. And I went to my boss and I said, "Hey, I think there are a few things we can do to increase efficiency, productivity, make money." And part of it was from a selfish perspective. Besides my salary, I had quite a bit of compensation coming from how much money we make and how much money we save. So I knew if we increase efficiency, productivity, I'll get a big check. Basically, I wanted to give myself a raise. And he said, those are good ideas. And I went back to him, and he still was not responding. After some time, I think he got tired of me, and he said, "Isaac, your job is to show up and do what you are taught to do, and stop giving me ideas." And I didn't understand because I knew it was going to be good for me and my employees. I had 18 employees that I was leading at that time. So I quit that company and I went to a different company, and I saw the same thing as well, like huge opportunities on what can be improved. And it threw me off because almost every time we had meetings on Mondays, we talked about how we need to grow our revenue, but they were resistant to make some changes. And they were not like major changes, just train the employees and have this system here and there, small stuff, but people are used to keeping the status quo. So I said, I'm going to look for a company that's willing to grow. And those were big corporations. So I got a job with a small engineering company. The owner of the business was involved. And before I took the job, I said, I have some ideas that I would like to share with you. I think they are going to improve your efficiency, productivity, make money by a minimum of 5 to 10%. Mm-hmm. It's an experiment. It's a project. If you give me permission, I'm not going to break your stuff. I'm going to work with my boss, and I want us to experiment it. And surprisingly, he said yes.
He said yes.
He said yes. So I worked with my boss, and I kid you not, within 6 months, the employee turnover reduced from 21 to 12%, which is huge.
Yeah, that is.
Profitability went up. We're making money. Basically, I made a lot of money with that company, and that was in 2013. So that's when I decided I'm going to start my own business. So talked to one of my mentors. He was coaching me on how to speak at that time, and I shared with him the idea, and he said, "Isaac, I think you are likely to be successful because you're a logical thinker, but you're also a people person." Fast forward, registered the
Kind of
business.
unique if you think about it, though. I mean, not everybody has those qualities.
I guess I'm just lucky, I'm lucky, but I was still nervous because I had never run a business before. I came from a family where we didn't have a business, basically. And again, coming to the US, it was a new culture, new place, still trying to find myself. So I decided to coach people for free from my church social circles, and people were getting good results. In particular, there was a lady who was working at KU Medical Center, and she was approached to be promoted to become a manager. And she said, "I'm nervous, I don't know what to do." And I said, "You need to take it." So I coached her on how to run her first employee meeting.
Yeah.
And she came back and she said it worked. And actually they gave me the job because that was part of the interview.
Was she surprised?
She was,
Yeah.
and I was like, and I did it for free. And then another lady, actually, our pastor's wife at that time, she was going for an interview to become an executive director in a company. She called me. She was nervous. At 7 o'clock in the morning, on my way to work, I coached her for 15 minutes and she got the job. Now, of course, they had to do the work, but I knew there was something about this. Helped a few business owners. So that's when I decided to start my own business. And in 2014, May of 2014, I registered the business, ran it part-time for 2 years, and I went full-time in 2016. And the rest, probably, it's just history.
It is.
So, yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
It's funny because I think that I met you, it was shortly after I started too. Maybe it was 2017 or 2018.
I think it was late 2016 or 2017.
Yeah, it was really early.
Because you and I, we were talking about just at our infancy stages, basically, because I had just gone full time.
Yeah.
We met that time.
It was pretty funny because even at the time, I remember when I first went to the ACA, I think the very first time, and that's where I met you.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing you and I thought, I need to talk to this guy. He's moving around. He's got this nice suit, and everyone seems to like him. I remember that. I remember just thinking, there's something about him. I'd like him to know. I'd like him to meet me, and I'd like to meet him.
Yeah.
And I think that it did happen, and we exchanged cards, and then of course we got to know each other and work with each other and everything else. And
you know what? It was 2017, and it's interesting because I remember where we met, like the exact spot. If you go to that building, I'll show you, because it was this guy with this, fancy afro. You still have the wonderful hair.
I
don't have one, by the way.
No, it's internal.
Okay.
You're just conservative with your hair.
Yeah, it's inside.
No, I remember the spot we met. And again, both of us were trying to grow. And what I've learned over the years is that when you are passionate about what you do, even when you haven't figured out how to do it completely, people tend to respond.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend the other day, and I told them, of course, I've grown over these years, and I feel sorry for my first clients that I had, because they trusted me with their businesses, but honestly, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just passionate about it and tried to grow.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like, so, I mean, you're on your fourth book now. It's crazy, like from where I first met you to now. And I'd seen your previous book releases, and they'd hit bestseller lists on Amazon, and they're always like this really big successful launch. And now you're on your fourth one called Freedom Through Systems. And I'm just curious, you had sent me the transcript, and I had read through it, and I thought it was really interesting.
Thank you for the endorsement, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But what inspired you to write, this fourth book? You've written so many so far. What inspired this one?
Yeah, I'll take you back to my initial thoughts about writing a book, and I'll fast forward it. So when my business has the coaching side and consulting, I have the leadership development side, and I do speaking. So when I decided to grow my training business, side of the business, I was like, okay, if I go back to my first job that I got right out of college, what kind of resources do I wish I had?
Yeah.
And one of the things I struggled with was being thrown into basically a deep pond to swim. And first of all, I'm an African. We don't swim that much. But I was thrown into this place to lead a team, and nobody trained me on how to do it. I was not coached. So I said, let me write a book that's going to be more like a roadmap for new managers, someone who just got promoted. So that was my first book. And the book, that time I thought the title was cool. It's called Now That I'm a Manager, What Do I Do Next?
Yeah, I remember.
So I wrote that book. It did very well. Then I, got a lot of contract speaking through the book, and people were asking other questions. And I noticed, yes, I had a book for the new managers, but the next level, which is basically the middle managers, were struggling too. So I wrote the second book called Take the Leap. How to transition from an employee to a manager. Kind of similar to the first one, but a little bit higher tier. And then I decided to grow my consulting side of the business, which I've done all these years. The challenge that I faced as an entrepreneur and as a business owner was coaching people, getting good results, and as soon as I step away, they would go back to their old ways. But also as a business owner, I lose that revenue. So I was like, okay, if I want to expand my business and also amplify the message, I need tools. So I decided to write my third book, which is called From Chaos to Control, How to Future-Proof Your Business Through Systems and Automation. And that was a book in the making for many, many years, because it was just the same things that I was doing. So that's the book we launched in January. Now, what inspired me to write this book, Freedom Through Systems, is twofold. Number one, it's more like a step up from the third book, From Chaos to Control. From Chaos to Control is kind of content heavy about the what and the why, and there are a few templates there that you can follow, but it doesn't have like a roadmap. Now, the second reason I wrote this book was going back to 2020 when COVID came and people were stuck in the houses. First off, I'm a social guy, so I like to talk to people, which drove me crazy. And I can tell you, I thought I can stay home, I know. And I remember telling my wife, I'll be fine. She was like, I'm going to give you 2 weeks. I lasted 8 days and I needed to get out. And I told my wife, from now onwards, I'm going to be the one doing grocery shopping because I just wanted to talk to people, whether they have the masks or not. So we started getting out, and I was, of course, I've been a part of ACA for a long time. I talked to Brian and he said the club was struggling to bring people out. And I said, how about we create more like a program to help people come out and we teach them. And what I came up with was a short program called Your Next 100 Days. And it was how to rebuild your business, because COVID kind of hit so many people.
It really did.
How to rebuild your business within 100 days. And the goal was we push for 90 days and you build the business very well, make money, whatever that you want to focus on, then you take 10 days off and then come back and do another 100 days. So that was the logic behind it. That program was very successful. I even have videos that I took, and I was going to launch it, and I did. I launched a similar program called the Business Growth Blueprint, and I faced the same problem where I had the theory, but I didn't have anything to back it up because it was not really a framework. So I ditched it. Basically, I shoved it. And it wasn't until last year I was like, okay, now I need to create more like a manual that people can follow. So this Freedom Through Systems has been a culmination of all these ideas that I've had. And basically what it is a framework and a step-by-step process on how to systemize your business. Install 7 systems, specific systems that you can install so that the business can run on its own, building a self-managing company. Of course, there's some work to be done, but if you do it right within 6 to 12 months, you can literally take a vacation and not have to worry about it.
So it's kind of like the ultimate blueprint.
Yes, exactly.
Everything you've learned over time. That's really exciting.
One of the things that I was thinking about, Isaac, when you're talking about this is, everything's changing in our society so much right now, AI and all the things that are coming out. I know you got a question about AI, David, but kids that are coming, into the workforce don't read. They're on their phones. Most of them. I would say. I mean, the challenge is, maybe talk a little bit about the challenge of being a leader, managing the younger kids that are, they're going to be the leaders someday, but it's got to be a different. How does a manager approach that now?
Yes, you have to grow and evolve with the times. That's true, but from my observation and objectively speaking about this, I think we have a tendency to grab something and run with it without thinking about it. The basic principles about running a business and leading people have not changed. They are the same. People, there are several things that people look for. They want to feel special. They want to feel like they belong. They want to feel like they are making a contribution. And so those are the fundamentals. So looking at, some people say kids nowadays don't listen. They don't show up on time. But the question is, there are some places they show up on time. If they have a party with their friends, they show up on time. And we say they have, which is, I think it's all made up, they have an attention of a goldfish or something. Some dude made up that. I don't think it's scientific or anything. But the same kids that don't pay attention at work or to any task, they binge watch Netflix. So they have the capacity to do it. And as leaders, what we need to think is, what is it that they are being attracted with the Netflix? And you can label it as a bad thing all you want, but there must be something that's there. So when you go back to the things I talked about, people want to feel special, they are making a contribution, they are part of something bigger than themselves. As leaders, we need to be very clear of where we are going, number one. In terms of your vision, make it enticing. We call it compelling enough. And I learned this from a guy called Jerry Haney, who wrote a book called Culture Works. And he said, your vision needs to be compelling enough. Basically, it can attract people more like a magnet. And you as the leader, you need to paint the picture so clearly in a way that people want to be a part of it. And then you come back and make it interesting for them. Because the reason they watch Netflix all day is because it's interesting. They get hooked. David, you're a marketing guy. And you teach, you got to have a hook, you got to have a story, and then you close the deal. Leaders, we have to learn that. I think the challenge is, as leaders, we were used to having people in the room and we tell them what to do, and they have to do it because they're afraid of losing their jobs, which nowadays they're not scared of losing their jobs.
That's true.
So basically, we were not leaders that time, we were just managers. So evolving to becoming a leader who has to slow down and think and ask questions and ask them what they want. One big challenge is that you almost have to customize it because everyone needs something different. But I think there are some blanket things we can do where you make the vision and and where you are going so compelling, and then you actually ask them to be a part of it. And if I say, Brad, I appreciate, you are very technical, you're a good guy, you make good jokes, and I want you to be a part of my vision. I mean, you might think it's a lousy small thing. You're a fun guy, you bring flavor to the team. I need to appreciate that. But again, the old school way of management was, you are not even supposed to be happy, just so you know. If you are too happy, they think you are not working. That's true. People ask me, why did you quit engineering? Which I didn't quit, I just left. But I like to joke and go like, they told me that I'm too friendly and I talk too much. Maybe they were right on that front, because engineers are not supposed to be happy people. You're supposed to be there and be sad, to look like you're solving world's problems. But more than anything else, as I conclude this statement, what people are looking for nowadays, whether they are young or older people, yes, we want to do the job, but we are looking for something that's going to make us feel something. Ideally, we are looking for entertainment. And I know people think entertainment doesn't pay, but one of the best paying industries in the world is entertainment.
That's right.
So you can tap into that, make it interesting. I'm not saying you dance for them or something like that, and forget about all these fancy break rooms. No, they have fancy game rooms in their homes, but make it fun. When they show up, they know they are making a contribution. You appreciate them, and then you ask them to help you. I think that's what we are missing. We don't ask for help. People want to feel like they are making a contribution. So that has been a sweet spot. A sweet spot for us. We have a team, and there are people that I know. I don't pay them the most money because I'm still growing, but they're there with me, man. They just want to do it. And I've done that with other companies that we do executive coaching for. So it's a combination of all those things. Now, technology, you talked about AI, is coming into play, and it's a great tool, which I know we'll talk about. We should not shut it down, but again, we shouldn't get too excited. It's not the only thing.
It is.
It's one of the tools we need to use.
I 100% agree with all of that, because it's so interesting. I think about the time, like just early days of techie. Like there was a girl that worked for me named Kellen, and you remember Kellen.
Yeah, I remember.
And she came on to work with me early on, and I couldn't pay her anything. I think I paid her $100 every 2 weeks, which is crazy.
Wow.
But she was coming down to the office 3 days a week. It was something that she really wanted to do, and she saw the vision, and she was having fun. She was like, okay, I'm getting to do this. I'm getting to work with these different people. And of course, as we grew, we made sure that she became salaried and everything else. But it was just one of those things where I thought, wow, there are people that can't even find their first employee. They can't get help for all this time. And I got one. I was very fortunate to have her working with us within 8 months of me starting the company and having that help. And It's so true. People are looking for more than just a paycheck.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at applications and I see like, I mean, sometimes it's unfortunate, but that job history has more holes in it than like, you know, Swiss cheese.
Yep.
And you're just like, what the heck's going on? But, you know, we can blame the people. We can blame, the young, the generation. They don't care about anything. But you're right. They do care about something. Mm-hmm. But we just are applying an old mentality to, you know, today's world. And, you know, that kind of gets me into the next thing I wanted to ask. And, you know, how do you get business owners to stay focused? Because with the change and, to your point, Brad, all of the new things coming out, how do you stay focused? I mean, there are so many decisions, so many tutorials, so many courses, so many YouTube videos telling you to do this. Oh, I need to be on Facebook. I need to be over here. How do you stay focused on the main thing?
Yeah, there are several things. And I believe every business owner wants to focus on the main thing. Mm-hmm. They truly want to. But sometimes they're not able to, because, like you said, there's so much information out there. Some of them have way too many advisors, unqualified advisors, and someone is unqualified if they're not able to give you what you need at the time you need it. Yeah. They might be qualified in other areas. They also, some of them, they like to search for information. They have an addiction for the next new thing. Yeah. It makes them feel good.
That's a big problem.
That's a big problem, know, as well. Even right now, I mean, AI has been around for a long time. You know, people think AI came in 2022, 23 when ChatGPT came. And it's been around for a long time. Yeah. The first book I read, I remember it was green. I was in college, University of Central Missouri. It said artificial intelligence. It was in the library. Obviously, I didn't understand most of it because it didn't make much sense to me. But AI has been around for a long time. Yeah. So to keep them focused, similar to the question Brad asked about young people struggling with getting the job done, you have to figure out what is it that the business owner wants, what gets them excited. And whether we like it or not, however much we want to pretend, every business owner gets excited when they see their revenue growing. Yeah, they get excited when they see their profits growing. Because, yes, the money is good. It's going to help them feel comfortable, pay their bills, pay their employees. But it's also an evidence that what they are doing is working. Yeah. It works on their psyche because they get into this business to build something for themselves. And if you have a family like me, for their family. So it's a proof that I'm doing something right. And with that knowledge, for me, from a coaching perspective, I always ask, what are you focusing on for the next 6 months? And people can go in circles and go like, is revenue important to you and profitability? And they always go like, yes. So I want to keep them focused by helping them to build the thing they are focusing on. And that's why, and it took me a while to get there, pretty much everything we do, and this is a whole blueprint we have, is geared towards some kind of a result. Yeah. From a buyer's perspective, revenue. Grow your revenue, grow your profits. Now, there are so many other things where there's marketing and there's sales operations, but everything can be quantified to the main thing. So that's what I found to be the easiest way to keep them focused, and then help them to delegate all the other things. If someone is still doing their books and you can tell they have a little bit of money, but they're holding onto it so tight because 10 years ago they lost all the money. And now they want to hold it because they think, okay, my retirement. If you can show them how to spend an extra $200, $500 a month, have a bookkeeper, then you take the time they spend 4 hours a week, try to do their books and they still mess up anyway. Yeah. And you show them how to utilize that 4 hours to focus on the thing that is going to move the needle. So all this to say, Brad and David and so many other people out there, when you go to a business, you might think you're just doing marketing, you're just doing helping them to create content, but you're going in as a strategic partner, as a valuable, objective advisor, and basically to help them not to focus on the things that don't matter, but also to give them confidence that you know what you're doing, number one, and assure them everything is going to be okay. You know, David, if you come to my company and I keep on getting on your way to tell you how to do the marketing, I know you may not tell me, but in your head, you are like, okay, dude, if you knew how to do it, you would have done it.
Why did you hire me?
Why did you hire me? Yeah. So it's a balance of you sit down, you ask good questions, and then you tell them your process. Hey, this is what I'm going to do for you. This is how we work, and I'm going to ask you for one favor. I'm going to suggest some things that probably won't make sense to you. At that point, I want you to trust me. So it's more like having a some kind of a contract in the beginning. And when they know you are on their side and you are there to support them, they are likely to step back. It takes a while for them to trust you. So bringing them back to be able to focus, find the thing that they're either worried about or they're excited about, and then help them to get rid of everything else.
Yeah, I agree. Couldn't agree more.
So that's a great transition to the next question. So what is one system every entrepreneur should have in place? If you could just pick one, it's like there's an elephant out there, but we're just going to take one bite. Okay. What is that one system?
Yeah. Okay, so I'll tell you first the 7 systems that I believe are the ones that every business needs to have. There are 7 key systems. There's a marketing system, and that's for bringing in business, basically attracting leads. Number 2 is the sales system, getting them to buy the product or the service. The next one is a service delivery system, fulfilling the promise that you give them. Then we have operations, which I had to dig in and really break it down a little bit. It's what happens in the back end when no one is watching, to keep the machine running. Then we have the customer success system, which we call it customer service most of the times, but it's way more than that. We have the financial system to make sure that you know your numbers and they're good.
Yes.
And then we have the people, we have leadership and people. So all those are systems. So if I was to pick one, it's a little hard, but I'll tell you, for any business that's trying to grow, the number one system they need to have is a marketing system.
Yeah. It's true.
Because if you don't have business coming in, you're going to have tons of problems. You can't attract the right people, so the leadership system is irrelevant at that point. You can't take them through your sales process because you don't have enough leads. You can't, do the operations. You need a marketing system and hone on that. And when you have enough leads coming in, of course, you have a sales process. But if I was to pick the top 2 is the marketing and sales in that order. People everywhere, Brad, they have been talking about, it's all about your people, focus on the people. And deep inside, the business owner is like, I care about the people, but I don't. And what they mean by that is that I don't have the ability to care about the people when I can't pay them. When the business is starving, when the business is likely to go down next month. So we got to be real with each other. Just have a strong marketing system and a sales system. And when you do that, you have enough money. You can hire people to do all the other stuff.
Yeah, people say, I heard, years ago, sales solves every problem in business.
I totally agree.
It's interesting.
It is interesting. It's the money coming in. Now, the thing is, and I think it's a cultural thing in the business world, where there's this talk about if you focus on your people, the business they're gonna take care of your business, and people focus on the people, and they kind of ignore the business side. The business development and the growth side. If you have the sales coming in, then you are likely to be happy. I don't know about you. I've been broke before so many times, right? I was happier when I had money in my pocket, even when I didn't need to spend it. No, it's true. It's like if you're driving, I don't know whether you're driving your car and it's almost on red. You see that little yellow, and you really don't have money, and you're like, I hope this gets me where I'm going. The whole time you're not enjoying the drive. Yeah. You are focusing on that little tank, and then when you get home, you're like,
good analogy.
It's true. Yeah. So when you have money, man, you're relaxed, and you're like, even if I, and it's like driving a car when you don't have insurance. You're always very careful. But I don't want to hit anybody, and I don't want to be hit. Yeah. And I'm not saying you're going to be careless, but when you have full coverage and you have money in your pocket, you're going to enjoy. Some dude hits you, okay, insurance will take care of it. Yeah. And that's the freedom we are talking about. Freedom of money and time and resources. That's what every business owner needs to have.
It's the same if you have bad tags.
You're driving around. Every car looks like a cop car.
Yeah. Every car. Every single car. Oh, man, that Ford looks a little suspicious.
You guys are giving me a little PTSD here. So. I can remember years, driving around for 6 months.
Yeah,
Maybe we should cut that out of the podcast.
Yeah. Cut that part. Cut that part out. Never happened.
Oh, there's a policeman. I'm going to turn right here and go into this neighborhood.
Yeah, and then I feel like sometimes they know that you're turning right. Yeah. They're like, he knows I'm here. Let me go after him.
Yeah.
Well, awesome.
Yeah.
So talking about your book again, it certainly sounds like entrepreneurs who are interested in scaling with systems and removing themselves from it, or at least working towards that point, should pick it up. But what's another book besides your own that you would recommend every entrepreneur reads?
From a system perspective, Traction is a very good book by Gino Wickman. Actually, that's a book that for years and years I've recommended to people. I understand it inside out. That's a good book. The next book that I would recommend people read is How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Oh, I love that book.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason being, when you understand people, now, yes, we want to have money coming in, but again, you need people to build that empire. When you put the systems in place and you step back, people need to be able to run that company. So when you understand people very well, and it's not about just winning regular friends, it's learning how people think, what they're looking for, how to talk to them, how to be really a good person and a good leader. How to Win Friends and Influence People is a powerful book that I recommend everyone reads it.
Yeah, that book is amazing. That book changed my perspective on marketing because right now we're going through kind of in digital marketing specifically, we're going through another tidal wave because Google just recently released what's called AI mode. And they've been pushing AI.
They change all the time.
They change all the time.
We can't keep up,
And that's what you said earlier, you have to change with the times. If you don't, you're going to be swept away by the wave. But another tidal wave is here for our industry. But it's funny because, I thought about, okay, you can't just do SEO in the traditional sense. It's being impacted, and this is changing, this is changing, this is changing. But one constant that's always remained is that main thing, like what we were talking about earlier. What does the business owner want? They want to see leads coming in, and they want to see revenue going up. It doesn't matter what the tactics are, SEO, Facebook, ads, etc. You have to have that be your main focus. And if something shifts, you need to understand it and understand, how does this apply? How does this work? But going to the marketing side, what do people want? When someone arrives on this website, what do they want to read? Not business owner says, I want my logo to be this big. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting passionate here. I want my logo to be this big. I want it to this text. And it's like, well, what does the customer want? Because ultimately we have to walk them through a process for why they should trust you, why they should reach out to you, and why they should do business with you. And that is never going to change. It doesn't matter what systems and everything come out. Right. That's never going to change. So it's very interesting what you're talking about and how it's connected.
It is all connected. And again, us as people that have raised our hands and we said we are in the business of helping people, we need to truly help them.
Yep.
You met people, and maybe we have been there. We just have evolved where it's all about us. There's ego. We have the pride of, I have my own business. I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, I'm an author. I'm like, first off, people out there don't care.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't care about my titles. But if I claim to be a coach and a consultant who wants to help people, I need to truly do that. And like you said, in the business owner's mind, they want the brightest and the biggest logo. That's all they know. We shouldn't tell them that's wrong, but we need to ask questions and say, okay, you told me your focus is to grow your business, revenue and employees. Attract and retain good employees. So how do you think this big logo is going to help you accomplish that? And you want to ask in a good way, not snarky way. And say, okay, help me understand how you think we can use this big logo. They might be like, I've never thought about that. And say, okay, that's really good. Can I share with you some ideas on how we can get people there faster? Because first off, entrepreneurs and business owners, most of them, they are know-it-all. And they know a bunch of stuff. That's why they got into business.
That's right.
So when you go in and you try to disapprove them, they're going to look at you as the enemy. You need to go in, be friendly enough and be professional, but also be firm and say, my job and the only job you've given me, and that's why you are paying me, is to get you there. Can you give me the chance to do that? So it's one of those where you need to help them to find the way. And from experience, when you do that, clients trust you. I have clients I've had for 77 plus years.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those where I have access to their team. I show up to their office. I don't need to book an appointment. Like really, I'm so embedded into the business. I know pretty much everything that happens. Of course, it took a while. So when you know what you're talking about and you are helping them, they are likely to trust you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we should go ahead and wrap up. But, if somebody wanted to reach out to you, Isaac, how would they do that? Where can we find the book? You said it's coming out June 18th. That'll probably date the podcast a little bit. But
yes.
where Amazon, where is it going to be?
Yeah, so the new book, Freedom Through Systems, I'm doing the official launch on the 17th of June. 17th of June. I have a virtual launch, and then I have a book signing here in Kansas City, and I'm going to send you guys the invite.
Very cool.
We are going to invite business owners to come. We do book signing and just have some good conversations. The best way is to go to Amazon and look for the book Freedom Through Systems. You can search Isaac Wambua. There's another dude called Isaac Wambua, but his books are not that good.
He's the imposter.
Is there really?
There's another one, but
he's the imposter.
Yeah, he has two books, but there's one book that he wrote a little, very, very controversial. And the book says, "When women don't shut up."
Oh no!
My
yes. And by the way, there's someone who called me and said, "Man, I know you. I don't think you'd write that kind of a book, but I just want to be sure. Is this your book?" And I said, "No, that's another Isaac Wambua."
Wow!
But you can go to Amazon. But also, if there's trust me, people can be nuts.
Maybe you need to be the Isaac.
Maybe I should be. By the way, I need to do that.
Yeah,
I can the Isaac Wambua. That's a good idea. But also, if you go to freedomsystemsbook.com.
Okay.
You can get a book from there as well, and several other free resources I have. With this book, it's coming with workbooks and tools and templates, and people will be able to get them for free. So if you go to freedomsystemsbook.com, you can download some resources from there.
So when you blow up and you've got the jet.
Yeah,
you need to take your boys with you on some trips, okay?
Yeah. Give us a flight down to Vegas.
You know what? I think that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
We got to think big, right?
We got to think big, and especially since we are building our businesses, so we can step away and be on the jet.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the goal.
It's all coming together.
So
we are declaring that now.
Yeah. Exactly.
We are speaking that into existence here on Digital Disruptors.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, Isaac, thanks for joining us.
Thanks to you too. Thank you for having me. This has been fun.
Really a lot of great information there. So thank you for being with us, everybody. We actually want you to share this podcast, share this information, share the social media content that's out there. Follow us, subscribe, all those things. And we have a lot more information coming, and a lot more information on, as Isaac was talking about how the landscape is changing, and David's talking about that too, even with Google. We want to be talking about all those things so you can learn just like we're learning. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, everyone.